You know, people, every now and then I get this inspiration just to share with others some things that I believe that Jah has bestowed upon me as a person. Now, you know, we all believe in God. We all believe in Jah. We believe that He's there. There is a supreme being, and He's there. But let me remind you to remember that He is in full control. Jah is in control of mankind. Whatever we believe we know, He been knowing and will always know. Sometimes we say Almighty God, but we say the term Almighty so freely, so carelessly. Almighty. It's not Almighty, it's Almighty. Means He knows everything. You know, I want to speak to men today. You know, especially younger men. And I know the things I'm getting ready to share with you. I have learned them down through the years. Men believe in God. Men always raise their hand up and be having a lot to say about what God did for them or what God is all about. Nevertheless, we believe a portion of what we hear or what we've read in the book. Remember, everybody have a voice. You have a voice, I have a voice, God has a voice. He could speak to you through His Spirit. He also speaks to us through His Word. For example, I have friends, I have people I know, men I'm talking about, that believe that they don't need a woman in their life. If you believe you don't need a woman in your life, then you only believe in a portion of what God said. If you think way back in the Word, God once said, in the beginning, He created this world. He said, let there be light. There was light, and He said it was good. Let there be trees. Let there be forests. Let there be animals. He said it was good. Then He said, I will create man in my image. Then He created man. Then He get to thinking, man needs help. Man needs help. Why would God give a man help if He don't believe he needs it? So some of us pat ourselves on the chest. We said, you know, I don't need no woman in my life. Yes, I do agree. Some women go the other way. Some women might not be exactly what you want them to be. But God created us a helpmeet. So He decided to make woman. Why did God believe we need help? See, here's how I look at things. He said He that findeth a wife, findeth a good thing. If you find a woman, you have found help. I don't care how smart you think you are. I don't care how much master's degree or whatever degree you think you may have. But I'm here to let you know. God said we need help. That's why He gave us a woman. In my book, to my understanding, if a man believes he don't need a woman, then he's only believing half of what God say to us as men. He said you need help. Here's the thing. He gave women a different way of thinking from us. So yes, we are in control. He put us to be dominion over the earth, but He also gave us help. So if you believe you can make it without a woman, I am not doubting it. But just imagine how much more you can acquire in here on this earth living versus if you had a woman. See, here's what we need to remember. The woman is there to help us. Don't treat them like trash. They are not trash. They're help given from God. Do God lie? I don't think so. Does God make mistakes? I don't think so. God said, I believe you need help. And that's why He gave you a woman. Men, don't stuck your chest up in the air believing that, oh no, I'm in control. I got it licked. I don't need women. I don't care if it's 2019 going on 2020. Nothing has changed over the years. sometimes it takes us to become an old man like myself before we start realizing what thus said the Lord. I will give men women, give a man a woman to stand in his corner, to hold that extra torch. You see, here's the thing. If you really think back, every time we decide to make a move, the women always comes to us, share with us a better way to make that same move. No, I'm not saying women are smarter than men. I'm not saying men are smarter than women. What I'm saying is, it's not just a figure of speech. God joined you together. God made you one. So you by yourself, you're only 50%. You're only half. You do not have the help that God designed and God gave to you. You push it aside. I don't need help. You're telling God, I don't want what you're offering me. I don't believe what you're saying. I can handle this. Step aside, God. I got this. God is God. If you believe in God, believe in Him all the way. In everything He says, we need to take control of our life with the help that He gave to us. Touch on another point. For example, children nowadays, very disrespectful, mostly, not all of them, of course, but you share with them, you talk to them, they don't believe they need to listen to the parents. They believe they can disrespect the parents. God said in His Word, when He's speaking to us, He said, children, obey your parents in the Lord. There are two things I've learned from this. Obeying your parents in the Lord, it is not saying if your parents is going down the road they shouldn't go, you're supposed to obey them and follow them. That's why I believe He says, obey your parents in the Lord. He said that their days may be long. Now let's flip it around. Children, obey your parents that their days may be long. It seems to me like if you don't obey your parents, then your days may be short. Does that make any sense? It makes sense to me. So you wonder sometimes why some of us are going through the things we go through. No matter what it is that you have done, there is consequences. It might not happen right then, but it comes to you. Then you wonder why you're going through what you're going through. It is that same, children, obey your parents in the Lord, that their days may be long. Your days cannot be long if you don't obey your parents in the Lord. So we look around us, we see guys running up and down, treating women like crap. We see children treating parents like crap. They talk to them in any kind of way, do whatever they want. And we totally disregard the fact that Jah is standing there. He's looking. You know, I love this song that the reggae artist Gregory Isaac sang. He said, if Jah is standing by our side, well, it wasn't Gregory. Who was it? One of the artists. But he said, the guy said, if Jah is standing by our side, why should we be afraid? Oh, so we're singing about it. We're believing in it. Nevertheless, we do what we want. It does not work like that. If you truly believe God is standing by your side and you don't need to be afraid, don't puff yourself up believing that I can handle this. I don't need God. You know, the word said, He knows the very hair on our head. Now that's a God. That is a powerful God. You know, I was thinking back in my days when I used to spend a lot of time with God, with the church, with the Bible, with, you know, I still do, but not like I used to. You know, and then my mind come back to the prodigal son. Way back when he ran off with his little inheritance, he got out there and started living his life and doing what he believed he needed to do. I mean, yeah, it's an old story, but it is a story that we need to focus on. So you go out there, you believe you can handle it. So you get out there and you run around and you spend your money, you do all the things that you think you want to do, and then one day you come to yourself. That's what he said. He came to himself. In other words, we need to realize that even though we have fallen, we faltered and fallen and all, God never changed. Jah is still standing by our side. But he does not want us to be robots. He wants us to come to him lovingly in a standing of repentance. You say, well, what do you know? Well, you know, sometimes you look at people, you see them down the street, you see them on the side of the road, and you feel like they're just empty. Not necessarily. You are conscious where you're at, and all you have to do is come to your senses. So here go this prodigal son guy. He's off there, then things got bad, so he's working, and he's eating the husk that the hogs or the pigs eat. And then he came to himself and he said, you know something? This doesn't make any sense. My father has servants. I'll just go back home and be one of his servants. I will be one of his hired servants. Let me tell you what I've learned. A hired servant is like a temporary job. So he's saying, I don't mind going back. A hired servant back in the days only get job when there were jobs available. He was not a servant. He was just a hired servant. But he was standing on the side for when there was work. He preferred to go back just to be a hired servant. From afar off, his father saw him. And he said, hey, look, here comes my son that was lost. Now he's found. The other brother was upset. Father, what are you doing? He left. He said, you know what? I have you here with me. I haven't lost you. But my son that I love, I came back home. Put the ring on his finger. What is a ring? Put a ring. Back in those days, a ring is like a credit card. A ring, putting on the finger means that you're back, you're prince. You can have whatsoever you desire when you go to God and ask him. When you pray, what is it that you need? Son, put this ring on your finger. Come on, put shoes on his feet. Let him walk, step boldly, knowing he is back in the position or in the place where I want him to be. He is an heir to my throne, to my wealth, to everything. Kill the fatted calf. Some of them don't understand that. What are you talking about, a calf? Here's the thing. In today's life, we have to remember, parents love children, and they love all of us. Sometimes we disrespect them. That doesn't change the love that they have for us as people, as human beings, as parents. All we have to do is reach out to them like God is reaching out to us. You know what he said? He said, put ring on his finger, shoes on his feet. I mean, he's my son that once was lost, and now he's found. Matter of fact, I tell you what, we're going to party. We're going to throw a big party, a big feast. But Father, I've been here this whole time. I don't see you having no party for me. Junior, you don't need no party. You're here. Everything you can have, you can throw a party when you want to. Man, he was gone. Look how he looked. He's dirty. He smelled like pig. But he is my son, and I love him. I will not turn my back on my son. That is what the Father is saying. Fathers, you're out there. Don't turn your back on your children. Love them with all your heart, like God loves you. God loves you because you are one of his children. We need to do the same to ours. They will respect you in the Lord, but you got to give them respect. There are different measures of respect that need to be given. So the parents need to give respect, honoring the child as a child, and vice versa. They will respect you if they feel and sense the love. They're supposed to be able to come to you like we can go to God. You see, as I sit here and I am talking, sometimes, yeah, I feel a little oozy in my eyes, only because I have children that I love. And those of you men that are out there, do not turn your back on your child, because there will be a time that will come that you will realize how much they mean to you. You don't have to wait until you get old. You don't have to wait until you believe, oh, okay, they're getting ready to carry me foot first. You can render the kind of love that God is rendering to you today. So, there's so much going on in this world. We complain about the presidency, about the way the country is being run. We complain about, but what we need to remember, amidst all of this, God, Jah, is still standing by your side. He have never left. If anybody left, we did. He said, I will always be with you, even unto the ends of this earth, of the world. He means it. God don't lie. He don't make promises and don't fulfill them. He said you can ask, you shall receive. Seek, and he shall find. But I've been asking, I haven't been